You call your cat's name once, twice, nothing. They don't turn their head. They don't lift a paw. They don't even look at you. And in that moment, a quiet thought slips in. Am I being ignored? Almost every cat owner has felt that sting, because to humans, attention means reaction. It means eye contact, movement, proof. But cats don't speak the language of obvious responses. They speak the language of subtle intention. And today, I want to gently change the way you see that silence. Because your cat isn't ignoring you, they're doing something far more complex. Let's start with the biggest misunderstanding of all. Humans think response equals movement. Cats don't. When you call your cat and they stay still, it doesn't mean the sound didn't reach them. Cats recognize their owner's voice with incredible accuracy. Studies have shown they can distinguish your voice from strangers, even when they choose not to react. So what's really happening in that quiet moment? Your cat is listening without performing. Instead of jumping up, they process. Their ears rotate slightly, sometimes so subtly you barely notice. Their tail tip may flick once. Their eyes soften or narrow just a fraction. These are not accidental movements. They're deliberate signals of attention. In the wild, reacting too quickly can be dangerous. Stillness is intelligence. Stillness is safety. A cat that doesn't rush is a cat that feels secure enough to pause. So when your cat doesn't move, they're not dismissing you. They're acknowledging you internally. They heard you. They considered it. They decided there was no urgency. And that decision itself comes from confidence. Now let's talk about distance. Many people believe love means closeness, but cats bond through shared presence, not constant contact. If your cat chooses to lie across the room instead of curling up beside you, that doesn't mean they don't care. It means they feel emotionally safe enough to exist independently. Insecure cats cling. Secure cats choose. When your cat stays nearby without touching you, they're saying, I trust that this bond doesn't require proof. They don't need to monitor you closely. They don't need reassurance every second. They already know you're there. This kind of distance is actually a sign of deep trust. And when humans try to force closeness in those moments, picking the cat up, calling repeatedly, pulling them toward us, it can quietly weaken that trust. The most respectful thing you can do is allow your cat to decide how close they want to be. Another reason cats seem to ignore us has nothing to do with sound at all. It has everything to do with emotional energy. Cats read emotional states with incredible precision. They notice changes in your breathing, your posture, the way you move through space. When you're anxious, distracted, or mentally overwhelmed, your cat feels it immediately. And when the emotional atmosphere feels unstable, many cats withdraw. Not because they don't care, but because they're trying to maintain balance. Cats are emotional regulators. When you're calm, they approach. When you're tense, they often become still or distant. That stillness isn't rejection, it's protection. Your cat is reducing stimulation to keep the environment emotionally safe. This is why cats often gravitate toward the quietest person in the room, not the loudest, not the one calling their name, the one whose energy feels settled. So when your cat seems to ignore you during stressful moments, they're not disconnecting, they're responding to something deeper than words. Now here's something many people never consider. Cats don't always respond because they already know what's going to happen next. Cats live in patterns. They memorize routines with astonishing accuracy. The way the light changes before evening, the sound your phone makes before you stand up.
the subtle shift in your posture before you move toward the kitchen. So when you call your cat, they might not react because in their mind, the outcome is already clear. They know food is coming. They know playtime is next. They know you'll pass by them in a moment. From their perspective, responding isn't necessary. They're already ahead of you. This can make cats appear indifferent when in reality, they're deeply synchronized with your life. They're not late to the moment, they're early. Now comes the part that feels counterintuitive.
The cats who feel the most secure often appear the least responsive. When a cat feels uncertain, they test the bond. They follow closely. They demand attention. They react quickly to ensure connection. But when a cat feels completely safe, they relax into the relationship. They don't need to prove attachment. They don't need constant reassurance. They trust that you're not going anywhere. That's why some of the most bonded cats sleep deeply when you're nearby. They don't jump when you move. They don't rush when you call. Their calm is not distance, it's trust. And once you see this, everything changes. You stop measuring love by reaction speed. You stop chasing responses. You start noticing presence. The quiet choice to stay in the same room. The way they orient their body toward you. The way they wait instead of follow. These are not signs of indifference. They are signs of emotional security. So the next time your cat doesn't respond the way you expect, pause before assuming rejection. Watch closer. Listen differently. Learn their language instead of translating them into yours. Because your cat isn't ignoring you. They're listening. They're regulating. They're trusting. And sometimes, the deepest connection makes the least noise. Tell me, does your cat stay quietly nearby, respond slowly, or seem to know what you'll do before you do it? Once you see these signs, you can't unsee them. And maybe you'll realize something comforting. Your cat was never ignoring you. They were just loving you in silence.